Welcome back to the channel, you guys. Welcome back. So today I'm working on my 34 Vortex. Kind of a quick project for me. I just finished up laying some epoxy in a couple other boats. So this may be a quick video, I don't know. But this Vortex hydroplane actually has some flex in the steering rod. Sometimes I'll get it back and it'll be bent like that, right? And I guess I could put a larger stainless rod in here, and I looked around. I do not have one. I'm currently running a 2.5 millimeter stainless rod, and it's, as you can see, it's not quite enough. The next size I have is a 1.9, so that's not going to work. So what we're going to do, which is a very common thing that hydroplane guys do, like for racing, you can actually get a kit from ZIPPKITS that will basically, it comes as a kit. It's a carbon fiber rod with two ends that basically, I think it comes with the rod as well, and you basically cut it to size for your particular application, and it will strengthen up the flex on this long run of a servo rod. So like on a hydroplane, you want to try to keep the back of the boat relatively light, you know, because the prop's back here, right? And the prop is what lifts the back of the boat up along with the air pressure under the boat. So you typically run your servo, I'm not going to say midship, but farther forward than you would say a mono. They like them back here, right? So you have all this real estate on your rod to deal with. So what we're going to do, I found a well, this isn't carbon, I don't think. It might be. I think it's fiberglass. I found a brass tube that almost fits in there, okay? And what I've had to do is I put it on my my vise. I crimped down on one side, and I drilled out the inside diameter to actually fit very tightly on my steering rod. So what we're going to do, this is just a quick, fast, and dirty way to reinforce this little run. You can do it. You could do it. I don't have a lathe. A lot of guys actually use aluminum. They'll actually make an aluminum insert, bored out to the rod size, and then it has like a little nice looking cap back here. Some of them have like set screws, so you can actually set screw it in. We're just going to glue this in basically like right there on both ends, and then slide this on our steering rod, okay? So we're going to try to reinforce this little run of rod, because that's mainly where it's flexing at, you know? In a right turn, it's basically pulling, and you're not going to get the flex in a right turn, right? It's pulling the rudder. You see that? So you're not going to get any flex. The deflection comes when it's under load, the opposite direction. Like if you give it a little bit of left input, it's actually doing the flexing. And I noticed this boat likes to actually lift. When I give it left input, it'll like jerk and lift. So I think this is going to help us out a lot. Like I said, pulling, it's fine. But when you're pushing, that's when you get the deflection, okay? On my particular boat, I'm going to run it all the way up to the threaded rod end right here. So about this long. I don't have it, stops on the number, so I can't measure it. So full right, it'll end right there. Full left, which we will not need that much, probably just use this much, so I could probably make it a little bit longer. Yeah, about right there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to need to bore out the end of this rod for my brass tube, because it's just slightly bigger than the hole. Okay, so I got the holes bored out on this carbon fiber rod. I'm gonna go ahead and 5-minute zap epoxy these in. Okay, I don't want to get any epoxy inside of this because it's bored real tight. And then we'll get this on the boat. This is just going to be like a temporary thing until we get the right thing for it. And I'll go ahead and pull this out while I'm doing all that. Okay, so I think I got it finished up here. Just going to slide this in. Hopefully, yes. I cut the threads off here, well, most of them anyway. So this can kind of butt right up to my connection, my rod end. Boom. Now we don't have any flex. You guys see that? Took care of all that deflection. We got a little short run going through the hull. The through hull support will help with the flex back here. The short run stiffens this little run up. Okay, a little through hole, it will only deflect so much or flex so much under load, under tension. And this is stiff. That's not gonna flex. So that's nice. Okay, so that's that. And then this is a shorter piece of the same steering rod. So flexing, yeah, that's awesome. That's gonna work. So I went ahead and oiled this up, going through this through hole here. Okay, I pushed it all the way up on my rod end. I kind of got off on my drill, just slightly. It's okay. Yeah, this is gonna be the ticket right here, you guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it in my rod end here. Boom. Then this is gonna go on my servo right there. I'm gonna go ahead and get it all hooked up. So I'm gonna weigh this boat. I got the batteries in there that I typically run. So she's 10 pounds, totally weighed out, rigged out, okay, with hatch, 10 pounds, okay. So a 10-pound boat, right? So all we were really relying on was a 2.5 millimeter steering rod to turn this boat. 10 pounds, almost 11 pounds actually, with the 7600 HCL HPs. Almost 11 pounds. 10 pounds, what was it, 13 ounces? 4.5 inch rudder, basically. Okay, so that's a lot of force being put on a little 2.5 millimeter stainless rod, right? I mean, the boat actually performed rather well, to be quite honest, even with the flex. Okay, now into a corner, in the corner, it's fine because we're pulling the rudder, right? We're fine. There's not going to be any flex. Okay, coming out the corner. Okay, I come off my right input and I go to straighten up for my straight, right? Come off the right input, I give it a little left input. That's when we were getting the deflection and flex. Okay, so what would happen, coming out of the corner, I give it that, I straighten her up, I give her that little bit of left input to get her in a straight line. And what would happen when I'd give it that left input, I was getting some flex and it would actually kind of throw the boat for a loop. I've actually flipped this boat coming out of a corner, barrel rolled it, and I'm thinking it was due to the deflection. So now the only little bit of flex we'll get is from here to here. And if it does flex, that through hole will actually prevent it from like over flexing, or flexing a lot, I guess I should say. right? That through hole right there kind of keeps it rather straight, right? So right turn, no deflection, and sometimes you would get some forces get put on it in a right turn, you know, that may actually want to flex or deflect the rudder. But in the left turn, boom, son. Oh, that's awesome. Oh man, this is gonna be so much better for this boat. It's gonna handle so much better in a corner and coming out of a corner now. And the best thing about it is I didn't spend a dime. I had the 6mm carbon fiber rod laying around. I had the brass tube laying around, you know, my brass tube collection here, and I basically made it work. Now this is about as basic as you get, right? It is locked in place, so it's not gonna like vibrate back. You can go overboard, right? You can like machine yourself some like nice aluminum ends that insert into the carbon fiber rod, you know, and everything. Actually, you could probably put you like a set screw on the end of the aluminum ends, and actually use the set screw to set down onto the rod. Mine is kind of permanent, but it can be removed. I should be able to heat this end up and pull it right off. Set screw would be much easier for adjustability later on, right? I went all the way up to my rod end, so I don't have any kind of, yeah, I think it's going to be great, right? So maybe this will help you guys out, you know. Like the UL19 actually runs a 3mm carbon fiber rod, right? And it's worked great. It will flex slightly, but it will go back to its original straight shape. Unlike stainless, if you flex stainless so much, it will hold its shape. This carbon fiber, it bounces back, right? This is my second one I've had to put in here. My first one, I crushed it with my set screw. So if you use carbon fiber, don't over tighten it. What I did is I used Loctite on the carbon fiber rod when I went into the connector, so that holds it in place, and I Loctited the grub screw gently onto it. And this one right here has lasted me, I've had it in here about a year and a half, 100-mile-per-hour passes with it, and it works great. The difference between the UL19 and the Deltaforce VORTEX 34 is much longer run of rod on the 34 versus the UL19, you know, much longer. So this boat's kind of heavy, and I think I'm going to let you guys go. Okay, I appreciate you watching. Maybe this will help you guys out. Okay, I'm sure you can use it on other boats. I mean, not just hydros, right? And it actually looks pretty badass, you know. So like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you next time.